Hi, it's John and Mike from brew-dudes.com, and we've done 5 videos about converting your packaging of your homebrew from bottling to kegging, and this is sort of the wrap-up. So I think with 5 videos, there's a lot to take in, so I thought maybe we'll just kind of wrap it up and sort of put an exclamation point on the whole project or the whole series. I had 2 questions throughout the whole thing, and I think we haven't addressed them yet. Number 1, how much monetary investment do you have to actually get a kegging system together and to make that leap from bottling to kegging? That's for you to answer.
Oh, good.
How much?
So how much? I think it depends on how fancy you want to get. If you want to have, obviously like faucets, like full-on faucets, like I have, like a professional handle pull setup. You want to get that deep in it. Those faucets can be $25 to $30, depending on how fancy faucet you want to buy. If you want to run 1 tap, 2 tap, obviously that's a multiple there. You can get your fridge or your freezer on Craigslist pretty cheap. You can try to be frugal there.
What do you think what's the least amount of money that I need to invest in just having a very simple kegging setup?
I think you could easily expect to get $200, $250 for like 1 keg. Very simple setup right off the bat.
And how much do you think you put into doing your whole system here?
I think my system, which is an expansion over several years of just kind of collecting the equipment and building into it, I'm probably closer at like 450, 500 level.
Okay, cool. So I guess, depending on how frugal you are and what kind of deals you can find, think about, hundreds of dollars to invest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are the 3 big takeaways from the series? We've done 5 videos again. This is video number 6. What do you think are the 3 biggest tips for anyone who's looking into getting to keg?
Well, I think one of the first things we talked about is where and how are you going to store the beer?
Right.
Are you going to have a fridge somewhere in your house, in your basement? Is it going to be someplace where family and friends are going to see it? You don't want to have a ratty fridge that you got off Craigslist in that case, so you're going to spend more money on a bigger fridge there. Do you want to have a chest freezer, or do you want to have a tall standing, a regular fridge?
Okay.
So that's a big part to consider. Is where am I going to do it? Do I like the idea of lifting kegs up and into a chest freezer?
Well, yeah.
And with the chest freezer, you get the efficiency of not losing all your cool air when you open it.
So there's some pros and cons, but really you have to think about how you're going to store it and how you're going to deliver it.
Exactly.
So have a plan before you start.
Have a plan.
Buy things.
Yeah.
And then what else?
So the second thing, once you figure that part out, is I mentioned before, it's one of the biggest things I always talk about is how you're going to get your CO2 tank filled with gas.
Yeah.
Look around before you buy any equipment and figure out if you've got a place that allow you to bring a tank and they will fill it for you, or do you need to go and surrender the tank and they give you a full one? Because a lot of keg systems that you would buy from your homebrew shop, they all want to basically sell you a brand new tank, and brand new tanks are expensive, and if you can't find somebody to fill it, you're just going to have to say goodbye to that shiny tank.
Right.
So
yeah. Okay. And what do you think the last thing is? I mean, I think you talked a lot about it in the 5th video, but
well, obviously the end game is getting a great pour of beer in your glass.
Yeah.
So the one thing that I struggled with for years, I was always using 1/4-inch tubing, and I would always dial down my pressure, dial up my pressure to keep it carbonated, lower it for a good pour. But if you switch to 3/16-inch tubing, which is what they recommend you to do. I don't know how I ended up with 1/4-inch tubing, but the reality is you get to 3/16-inch tubing, and it solves so many headaches, and it gives you the perfect pour. That's like the real end game of delivering the beer to the glass.
Cool. So I think that's it. So save your money around maybe $300 to get from bottling to kegging, and keep those 3 tips in mind. See the videos, watch the videos, learn from the videos, and I think you'll be well on your way to kegging your homebrew. From John and Mike, brew on.
Brew on.